A lot has changed. So many people have been forced to work from their homes. As tragic as this pandemic is, there is a lot of good change happening and a lot of opportunities that didn't exist for you before now that you're working from home. What I'm going to show you in this episode is life-changing. I learned this 10 years ago and my life hasn't been the same since. Working from home has become a huge blessing. I thought I knew what freedom was, but I was wrong. I didn't know what leverage was. Now it's something I live by. What I used to think was impossible is now my daily reality. All of this was made possible because I didn't have a boss looking over my shoulder. Now that you're working from home, you have 3 options. Okay, to begin, 12 years ago, I listened to the audiobook, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Now, how does that sound? A 4-hour workweek. So this book, talk about eye-opening, talk about a paradigm shift.
Do you want to know what it is?
Listening to this book, I felt like Neo.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
If you continue to watch this episode, you're taking the red pill.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
The 4-Hour Workweek book caused 3 paradigm shifts. First, the 80-20 rule. I learned to focus on the 20% that's important and ignore the 80% that isn't important. Next, Tim taught me to liberate myself from traditional expectations, that I should design my job to increase mobility. He talks a ton about working from home and what's possible. And then third, he talks a lot about automating your cash flow and leveraging your time through outsourcing. He shared how you can outsource everything in your life by hiring a virtual assistant. Develop a business that can run on autopilot. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. It's a modified version from one that Tim Ferriss taught. Okay, a man from New York was a business owner and he was on vacation at a beach. Beautiful beach, perhaps it's in the Philippines. And when he was on the beach, he was talking to a fisherman. This fisherman was just relaxing, having a great time. He had a smile on his face. He seemed really happy. So this businessman that was on vacation went up to the fisherman and just started a conversation with him. Talked to him about his life, talked to him about his fishing business, and found out he was able to catch a lot of fish in a short amount of time, and that provided his livelihood. Upon finding out that he only worked a couple of hours a day, he encouraged him to work more. And when the man asked, well, why would I need to work more? It's like, so you could catch more fish and you can sell them and you can make more profit. When the man asked, why do I need more revenue or sales, or why do I need more money? This businessman told him, well, then you can invest that money into more boats and grow a bigger fleet. So instead of just him going out on one boat catching fish, he could hire other people, he could build a big fleet of boats and catch way more fish. And the man asked again, well, why would I want to do that? Well, then your revenue could go through the roof. You'd have a lot more income. You'd be making a lot more money. Well, then the fisherman asked the question again, well, why would I need to make that much money? Why would I need to make more money? And the businessman said, well, then you can afford to move to New York. You could have a big office, you could have a corporate office so that you could manage a bigger operation. He went on to explain how from New York City, he could run an entire global operation with many fishing fleets all over the world. And while the man might have been intrigued about going to New York City, he wondered, why would I need to do all of that? The New York businessman said, well, then you'd be making loads of money. You could afford a private jet. With a private jet, you could fly around to all your different fishing fleets, manage your team, do quality control. You would be able to travel all around the world in your amazing private jet. The fisherman thought about it for a minute. And then he said, well, then what? What would I do next? The businessman then replied, well, then you could sell your entire company, make a fortune, and you could go and spend the rest of your life on a beautiful island, sitting on the beach and relaxing all day long. Is there a way that you can leverage the fact that you're working from home? And what do I mean by leverage? Moving rocks is hard work, but you're smart. You know, with a lever, you can move rocks much easier. Now that you're working from home, your boss won't know if you're using a lever or not. All he cares about is the delivery of quality work. As long as you deliver quality work, you can use whatever lever you want. Now, what if that lever was another person in the Philippines? Now, before you say this will never work for me, let me show you what I did, and then I'll share a few ways that I believe will work for your situation. I had a job writing articles. My company paid me $12 per article. They'd send me the title. I would write the article or type it up, send it to them. They'd pay me 12 bucks. Well, I hired somebody to write articles for me, and I only had to pay them 2 bucks per article. So if you do the math, you can see how awesome that is. I got paid 10 bucks for just being the middleman. Over the next few months, I was experimenting with a web design service, and I found that I could sell a custom website for $500. Well, I hired a couple people in the Philippines to do all the work for me, so I just found the customers and they did the work. My first month doing this, I made more money in a single month than I ever had before. So then I improved my web design service and I quadrupled my price to $2,000. And yeah, my team in the Philippines, they continued to do all the work. Fast forward to today, I have a $104,000 YouTube production service. And guess who does the work for that? Now let's talk about your situation. You've just taken the red pill.
Follow me.
Now you get the truth. When I first read The 4-Hour Workweek and learned about outsourcing, I thought it was brilliant, but I didn't know how I could implement it. It sounded too difficult and I didn't think I could afford it. But get this, you can hire somebody full-time in the Philippines for $450 per month. Now that is powerful leverage. Now fill in the blanks here. You make blank per month, okay? So you make per month, and you could hire somebody to do that work for $450 per month. Now there are several ways that you could do this. Okay, I've got 3 options. The first option is you could play all day. This $450 per month would buy you a lot of time. What would you do with your extra time? Okay, let's take a look at option number 2. You could still put in your 8 hours a day, but you hire somebody else for $450 a month, and now what you're delivering to your boss or to your company is 16 hours of work per day. You would be the most productive employee on the planet. You would outshine all your coworkers. You would get a pay raise, you'd get awards, you'd be the employee of the month. Take some time to think about that one for a moment. What could you really do? Okay, so now you're wondering, what is the third option? This one is pretty cool, and I'm gonna have to explain this word here, manage, because that sounds like a boring word, but boy, this is huge. When you can tell that your company or your boss is ready to hire more people, you can go to him or her and say, you know what? This is what I've been doing. This is how I've been over-delivering. I've been achieving the top charts. It's because I've been hiring somebody to assist me in my work. I have built my own team, and so I represent multiple people. And before you get worried about that, I have an idea that will save the company tons of money. You're prepared to hire more employees and pay this amount, but I'll tell you what, we can find people and pay them this much per month, and I'll manage them. You just pay me a little bit extra for a management fee, and I'll go and I'll find people that will make our company more successful, more productive, more efficient, more profitable. I've already made it work. And so instead of hiring people like you traditionally have, let me help you find people like this. If you had already made it work, what do you think your boss would say? I can hire one person for this amount, or I can hire 10 people for the same amount, or just one person for this amount. If right now you're wondering how in the world you find somebody like that in the Philippines, it's actually quite easy. Let me show you. When I first found this website, I had my first person hired, that article writer, within a day. I'm on virtualassistanttool.com and I'm doing their advanced search. And I can come in here and put criteria. ID proof score I'm going to set to 70. Salary I'm going to set to, we'll set a maximum of 25,000 Filipino pesos. That's around $500. Last active, a month or less. That means they've come and updated their profile. I want to see a picture. You can see there's so many different categories that I can choose from. Let's go with graphics and multimedia. I'll just say that they're super good at video editing. And I'm actually going to include a word up here. Let's type in Premiere. You can see that I've done that search before. All right, so here's Jan. He's actually looking for part-time work for only $200 a month. Here's this person, full-time, $301 per month. John here, $400 a month. Jericho, $400 a month. Jerome. Now, what I like to look for with a video editor is somebody that says video editor in their title. Like, that's their main skill, that's their main focus. So I'll keep looking here. Professional video editor. He's asking for $300 a month. He's only available part-time. He's had 8 years in video editing experience, so he is somebody that I'd want to take a closer look at. You can see he's got a bachelor's degree. He's 30 years old. If I need to verify, he's got government ID he can provide. He knows how to use Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas, he can color grade. He actually looks like a pretty good candidate here. The only problem is I like to hire people full-time. And then when I'm ready to contact him, I just come up here and I can contact him directly by email. Freelance video editor, he's available full-time. He's asking for $400 a month. He's had 5 years experience. Let's take a closer look. He's also got a bachelor's degree. So this is the list of qualities that he's rated as his top skills. And you can scroll down and look at them grouped by category. So in English, he's great at speaking, he's great at translation, he's done some tutoring, he's okay, he says I'm good at writing. And we're talking about in English there because English is a second language. Cool thing about the Philippines is their English is amazing. And again, I just scroll back up here and I click that to contact Benji. Okay, so you can actually do searches like this right now. You just go to virtualassistanttool.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and click Advanced VA Search, and that takes you right here. I've been systematizing and outsourcing for over a decade, and I've been providing consulting and assistance to other companies. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with systems, automation, and outsourcing to the Philippines, and you'd like my help doing it all, let's chat. Click the link below and let's discuss what your options are.